All right, hello there, friends, and happy Wednesday to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Birchett with a check of your forecast and a look at the dangerous heat that we have been experiencing here for it seems like the last month, but really it's been about a week and a half of this really dangerous extreme heat. And unfortunately, it looks like that is going to continue here for the next several days. Let's get right to your weather impact alert. And of course, that is the fact that the heat and humidity is going to be rolling on at least through the end of this week. We've got a couple more days of the really extreme heat. Seems like after that, things might look a little bit better. Still hot, but better than it has been right now. So we are looking at that heat index, at least for the end of the week, staying near or maybe even over 105 degrees. And again, it's been dangerous. It's going to continue to be dangerous for the next several days. So make sure you are staying hydrated and staying cool. If you work outside, make sure you're taking breaks in the shade. Check in on your coworkers, make sure they're doing okay. Know the difference between heat stroke, heat exhaustion. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And also, you want to try to reduce your energy use. MLGW and the TVA saying again today that the power demand is getting on up there. Everybody's been running their AC so much, it is putting a little bit of a strain on the power grid. So voluntarily, they are asking us to conserve a little bit of energy. They're not asking you to shut down your whole house, but they are asking you to take a couple of steps that can bump down that energy usage just a bit. It'll also help your power bill when it comes in next month, because I promise you that power bill is not going to be pretty for any of us. First thing you can do is just raise your thermostat. We're not talking about putting it on 85, but if you normally keep it on 70, maybe put it on 72 or 73. Again, that will help to prevent too much overload on the power grid with everybody running their units so much. And of course, if you leave the house, make sure you bump that thermostat up a few extra degrees. I actually put it on 78 before I leave, and then as soon as I get back in, I bump it back down a few degrees. You also want to avoid any large appliances during the day. That's your washer, your dryer, your dishwasher, charging your electric vehicle. You don't want to do any of that in the heat of the afternoon. You want to wait until the sun goes down to use those big appliances. And again, that will also prevent some strain on the power grid. Turn off extra lights. You should be doing that already, but if you leave a room, flip the lights off, and if you leave the house, turn off all the lights. Also, keep your blinds and your curtains closed, and that will help to prevent the house from heating up as quickly, and then that way you won't need to use as much AC. Thankfully, Mother Nature has helped us out a little bit. We've had some of those afternoon pop-up showers and thunderstorms each day. Most of those yesterday were in eastern Arkansas, but here in Memphis, we did have a couple of those showers and storms yesterday. A quick heavy downpour from Frazier, even down into North Memphis and inside the 240 loop. That was kind of the heaviest rain in Memphis yesterday. But Germantown, Collierville, most of West Tennessee were completely dry. So we are going to keep up that chance of afternoon pop-up showers and storms. They won't happen everywhere, but if you do see a downpour, number one, it could be heavy, but it will also cool you down at least for a few minutes. Of course, another big issue has been the humidity. Our dew point right now sits at 72 degrees, and that means it is very muggy. We use this number to measure how humid it is. Anything over 70 is just uncomfortable. It's almost sticky when you walk outside. And that's why this has been so dangerous. It's not just the heat, it's because it's so humid, and that's making it more and more dangerous. Of course, that combines to give you the heat index. Once again, the heat index near 106 this afternoon in Memphis. It's going to stay that high for tomorrow and for Friday as well. So we're going to keep the weather impact alert through Friday. That's when we expect the most dangerous heat. And then slowly but surely, that heat index will come down just a little bit. Notice by the weekend, it's going to feel like about 103. Still very hot, but the humidity might come down just a little bit. And then maybe a little better next week. I think next week we'll probably be in better shape. It'll still be hot, but it won't be as hot. And we'll actually have some more chances for thunderstorms next week. That, of course, could help to cool us down. But especially through the end of the week and even into the weekend, make sure you're practicing that summer heat safety, staying hydrated, taking breaks inside in the shade, Don't want to overexert yourself. Now's not the time to go on a jog in the middle of the afternoon. You might think you're okay, but those heat symptoms can really sneak up on you. Also, remember your kids and your pets, especially in the back seat. Make sure you're not leaving them in a hot car. And also, give your friends and family a call. One phone call can literally save a life in this heat, especially for folks that are elderly or might need special care. Give them a call. Make sure they're staying cool. Make sure their air is working okay. See if they need anything, maybe some extra water they need brought by. And then also, if they need to get to a cooler place, you can help them with that. But literally giving somebody a quick phone call can literally save their life if they are dealing with hot conditions in their house. We talked about heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. Heat exhaustion is just when you overdo it a little bit. It's usually not too serious, but you could get a little dizzy. You start to sweat a lot. You get really thirsty, and you could get a little nauseous. You just start to feel kind of icky out in the heat. If that starts to happen, you need to go inside, put a cold rag on your head, and drink plenty of water. Stay in the AC. Give yourself time to rest. That is heat exhaustion. Heat stroke is a little more serious. Heat stroke is when we start to get the neurological symptoms. It starts to mess with your brain a little bit. You start to get confusion. You don't really know where you are. And a lot of times people don't realize they're having a heat stroke because they get so confused and out of it. It's other people around them that have to notice they're having a heat stroke. So if you're out on a job site, you got to know these signs to look out for, not only in yourself, but also in your coworkers. If you start to see someone get confused, just feeling kind of weird, they don't really know where they are, they're stumbling over their words, maybe they even pass out, and usually they're not sweating as much, that is a sign of a heat stroke, and that is a serious medical condition. If you see someone having a heat stroke, you need to call 911 and get an ambulance over. We talked about the hot cars a little bit, but I just want to remind you, and most people know this, if it gets to 95 outside after 20 minutes, the inside of the car is 130. That can even be with the windows cracked. So don't think you can leave a pet or a kid in the back seat and crack the windows. Absolutely not. Nothing or anyone should be left in the back seat. Even those plastic water bottles can literally melt inside of a car, even with the windows cracked. Nothing or no one should be left inside a car. No pets either. Definitely want to double check the back seat. Make sure you're getting everything out. We talked about the pets, but dogs really also affected by this too. You don't want them out running too much in this heat. Just like humans, they can get overexerted a little bit. If you have to take them out and get their daily run in, try to do it early in the morning or late at night when the heat isn't as bad. But also remember, the pavement can be very hot. If you can't take your hand and put it on the pavement for 10 seconds without it hurting, you don't need to be walking your pet out there. Really, again, the best thing to do early in the morning, late at night for your pets. If you have to take them out, keep them in the grass and the shade. You don't want them walking around on that pavement. You can also get those booties for them. I know they look kind of silly, but they actually do help on that hot pavement and that hot concrete. And then also heat stroke can happen in dogs too, and it can happen more frequently than it does in humans. 80 degrees or higher. A pet can have a heat stroke, so make sure you are keeping an eye on them. But again, a weather impact alert now through Friday for the dangerous heat. Stay hydrated and stay cool. That's the bottom line. Check in on your friends and neighbors, and also reduce a little bit of the energy use. If you can, bump that thermostat up a few degrees to reduce some of that strain on the power grid. We don't want widespread power outages. Thankfully, we have not seen that so far. But again, everybody reducing that load just a little bit can certainly help. High pressure parked right on top of us. It's going to stay here for the next couple of days. But as we go ahead into the weekend, and especially next week, that high pressure slides away just a little bit, and that's going to get us out from this extreme heat. So that's why you saw by next week that heat index comes down just a little bit. It's still going to be hot, but not as bad as it is now by next week. That also could open the door to some rain chances. Again, we're going to keep those spotty rain chances in the forecast through the end of the week and the weekend. Those are going to be those more isolated, quick downpours that miss most of us but hit a couple. Next week, the rain chances do come up a little bit, especially by Tuesday and Wednesday. We could see a slightly better chance for more of those pop-up storms. So that high pressure sliding away, giving us a little relief, and then also more thunderstorms could knock those temperatures down a bit. I still don't expect a ton of rain, probably around an inch, maybe less than that for the next 7 days. But the next 3 days by far are going to be the most dangerous. Mid-90s for the highs, heat index near 105. And notice, again, still very hot and very humid through the weekend. As we get to Sunday and Monday, we do have a chance of some thunderstorms, more of those pop-ups. But then Tuesday and Wednesday, probably the best chance that we have had yet in a while to see those pop-up thunderstorms. We could see a little more of those next week. Notice it really doesn't help much. We only get to 92. But that's near normal for this time of year. Our average high is 91. So those thunderstorms just can help us get a little bit more back to normal. But again, by far very hot the next few days. The weekend stays hot. But next week, we might see the temperature come down a couple of degrees. And again, a few more thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. I don't expect a ton of rain, but even a couple more of those pop-up thunderstorms, which is what I expect next week, could help us out. Of course, for the latest weather updates and information, you can always follow us right here on ABC 24 Plus. We do extended weather updates all the time. If you don't have Plus yet, or you don't know somebody that does, you just search ABC 24 in your App Store, Google Play, or your streaming store, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV. We are always there. It's a 24/7 stream of local news, weather, and sports information that will always keep you ahead of the game. So again, as we continue to watch for the next few days, the bottom line is the heat, it is going to stick around at least through the weekend. So make sure you are taking care of yourself, checking in on your friends and neighbors, and drink plenty of water. If you think you've had enough water, drink some more. You probably need some more. We'll let it go for now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Birchett. Thanks for joining us for this extended weather update on ABC 24 Plus.